Welcome to Business Owners Radio. Business Owners Radio, where established business owners get the latest insights, strategies, and practices to grow a sustainably profitable business. And now, taking care of business, your hosts, Craig Moen and Shai Gilad.
Welcome to Business Owners Radio, episode 27. In today's show, we'll be talking to Lindsey Anderson, CEO of Web Impact, a web development company, and Lindsey's Web, an online resource for small business owners. Lindsey's going to be talking to us about how to build an email list, improve your social media and web strategy, and drive more traffic to your website to generate more leads. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Shai. How's it going this morning?
It's going great. You know, I'm laughing about this topic. I'm really excited to talk with One Click Lindsey today. But you know how I feel about social media.
Oh, I'm just looking at this too, and it's like so challenging, and it has to happen. It's growing in volumes, and it's become very central to the growth of any industry or any business. And, you know, you can no longer be the best kept secret anymore. You really got to get yourself out there. How you do that, there's a process involved.
Yeah, it's a real challenge. And this goes beyond simply just social media. I think it's all about your internet presence. It's your website. It's your email marketing strategy. Yes, it is whatever the right level of social media participation is right for you. How do you figure out where your customers are? Which of those channels should you use? How do you optimize them? It's messy business.
And it's continuous. You just can't put your toe in the water and try it out and then disappear again. It's an all-in commitment. You really have to be ready to commit to a decent-sized volume of hours and efforts and planning and implementation and execution, feedback, tuning, going back out there on a continuous basis. And like you're saying, which channel's best for us? Is it Pinterest? Is it Facebook? Is it LinkedIn? What is it? And then really going into it and making it happen. That's a big commitment.
It is a big commitment. And how do your clients deal with this?
All over the map. Some of them have a natural talent to it. They really enjoy the dialogue and the interaction and generating content and continuously pouring it out there. But I got to tell you, the majority of them would really like to not be involved. So, how about you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think one of the traps is that once you get involved, inevitably you're on the social media sites, and that becomes a huge distraction, right? It's just like you said, I have clients that approach this in different ways. But I have to tell you, my personal experience, my opinion, and in watching clients go through this process, I think this is an area that's just ripe for outsource.
Absolutely. And fortunately, there's a lot of good providers coming on all the time. But this is something that requires so much attention and planning, and it's really distracting, actually, on the delivery side of their business.
Oh, yeah, and it requires a lot of esoteric knowledge. You're looking at a media that's changing quickly all the time, right? And so you have to be on top of it, and you have to really, really know what you're doing. Yeah. And it takes a lot of time and effort. So when I add all those things up, that just rings the outsource bell immediately.
It does.
You know, unless you have enough of a budget that you're hiring in-house. There's so many good people that do this and just specialize in this area. You can really extract a lot of value through outsourcing.
Even from the standpoint of, if you do this wrong, you can really do some damage. And so it even reinforces that. Outsource to an expert. It's so particular as far as its expertise levels to doing it right that it's really worthwhile considering.
Yeah, that's right, Craig. And our guest today, One Click Lindsey Anderson, is a web strategy expert working with small business owners to help them grow their businesses. Lindsey's the founder and CEO of two companies, Web Impact, a successful web development company, and Lindsey's Web, an online resource for small business owners to learn about ranking on search engines, newsletters, analytics, social media, pay-per-click ads, websites, blogging, and the list goes on and on. Lindsey knows how to utilize web technologies to help small business owners achieve their dreams. Good morning, Lindsey. Welcome to Business Owners Radio.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Hi, Lindsey. Thanks.
Hi.
Hey, great to have you. So, Lindsey, so excited, the legendary One-Click Lindsey, to have her on Business Owners Radio.
I'm so glad you corrected that because I was going to say my name is not Lindsey. It's One-Click Lindsey. Come on.
So, yes, the legend of One-Click Lindsey. Let's talk about that, Lindsey. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with marketing and how you evolved into this iconic figure.
Sure. You're really building it up. I really like that. So essentially, I've always been an entrepreneur, probably like a lot of your wonderful listeners, always trying new ideas here and there. So it just seemed like a natural fit when I went to college to go into information systems, learning how to build websites, learning how to market online, just because then I could try any idea I wanted and I wouldn't have to waste money on a web developer. So graduated in that, got a super boring job out at a DOE facility that was shipping nuclear waste. That was really, really boring. So I decided to venture out on my own and opened a web development company. Well, everyone and their dog's cousin's neighbor runs a web development company, and it was extremely competitive. You couldn't really charge a lot because everyone would be like, well, my brother can do that. Why are you charging $1,000 for that? So customers would come and if they were smart enough, they might ask me about, hey, Lindsey, can you run a pay-per-click campaign or can you help me with some social media? Like that's if they were like knowledgeable enough to ask me because I wasn't on my game enough to like make these offerings to them. So I sat back and I said, why are customers coming and going? What do customers today really need? To which, hey, it was pretty obvious at that time. They needed traffic and leads, right? So I rebranded the company to trafficandleads.com. And that is what I specialize in. The customers are much happier. I'm much happier because I can specialize in generating traffic and leads to your website. Well, this all wraps into where I got my nickname from. I had a chiropractor client. We were creating a wonderful landing page for him. Essentially, he was a chiropractor that specialized in pregnancy chiropractic care, or at least he was running a special for that. So we were working on this landing page. Like you'd go to this landing page and there was a picture of a pregnant woman and it's like, does your back hurt? I can totally help. And the opt-in was 10 ways to cure your back pain by yourself, your pregnancy back pain by yourself. Of course, they would get these 10 tips. Their back pain might subside a bit, but then they would eventually call him. Well, we were operating on this landing page and I really wanted the conversion rates to get up way higher. So we were operating on the headlines and on the buttons and on the color and on the picture. And we finally made some final adjustments. The next morning I woke up, we had 10 leads in the inbox, meaning it was highly converting. I called him and I'm like, hey doc, what's going on? And he says, well, if it isn't One-Click Lindsey. And the reason why he said that is because I tend to repeat myself and I must have said, doctor, we've got to get them to make that one click. If they can just make that one click and get onto your list, they're going to be a customer. I just know it. So I apparently said that one too many times. So he called me One-Click Lindsey. I thought, well, I kind of like that. I should go for that. So in a marketing way, I thought One-Click Lindsey is a whole lot more memorable than Lindsey Anderson, and the rest is history, gentlemen.
It clearly is. What a great story. I'm almost thinking it should be 10x Lindsey.
Yeah,
that kind of result.
It can. It really can. The importance of an email list, I can't express it enough. Even in my own personal business, I've been in business since 2008, and I just barely started collecting emails, say 3 years ago. And just every time I am able to send an email to my list, it keeps my customers close. It keeps those prospects when they're ready to buy. I'm on their radar. It is so powerful. And I'm kicking myself that I haven't been doing it for the entire time I've been in business.
Yay, it's my turn.
Hi, Craig.
Hey, Lindsey. No, so tell me about the process and working with a prospect on generating more leads and getting more traffic. Where do you start?
Yeah, so most companies, probably in your target demographic, they're kind of my favorite, right? I'll just give you an example because examples are always my favorite. So I have a naturopath client up in Canada and she makes a very good living. She has employees. She's rocking it. So, but she's never really done any online marketing. So I hopped in to her website, statistics, her analytics. There's a little hint for your listeners. Like regardless if you're understanding anything I'm saying or if you feel like delving into analytics of your website, go and put Google Google Analytics on your website. It's free. Tell your web developer to do it. It'll take him 2 seconds. If he charges you more than $25, then call me and I'll do it for $25. But is what Google Analytics will do. And again, it's free. It will just start collecting data of all the people who are coming to your website, how they got there, where they're from, what pages they go to, that kind of a thing. So for this client that I had up in Canada, went in there, looked at her Google Analytics, and lo and behold, she was getting a crap ton of traffic for 2 keywords. One was estrogen deficiency and one was hot flashes. Of course, she can help women with these problems, but she had no idea that that kind of traffic was coming to her website. Like, she's number 3 for the estrogen deficiency, like when you Google, which is impressive because, again, she never really worked at it. She just had some high quality content that Google really liked. So people were coming. So what did I do? Went to her website, we looked at this article, and I put what was called a content upgrade on the website, which is essentially people would read the doctor's article. Then, of course, it was great content. So at the bottom, we say, hey, I know you want more. I know you want 12 days to resolving estrogen deficiency on your own, essentially. So people would opt into this, and then we set up an autoresponder email that was basically walking them through how to resolve estrogen deficiency disorder on their own. But through the emails, we were peppering her name. We were saying, hey, did you know, like, maybe if these don't work, that I actually offer naturopathic services through people through Skype. I can help you with this problem through Skype. Oh, hey, I have a podcast. I'm not famous, but notoriety. You can go listen to my podcast on a whole bunch of different naturopath issues. Or in one email, we did some testimonials. Hey, check it out. Lucy did this and she feels better today. So through these 10 emails, we were delivering amazing high quality content where they could resolve estrogen deficiency disorder by themselves. But if they got overwhelmed or through the process, they gained a ton of trust in my client, they ended up calling her, scheduling a Skype session with her, and she got a ton of clients. Again, she did not have to pay for any of this traffic. All we did was capture the traffic that she was already getting. And with her, the examples are endless because she's been in business for such a long time. All I had to do is go and look and see what are people looking for and basically give them what they deliver, turn that traffic into email opt-ins and then the email opt-ins into client.
Lindsey, I'm curious, when people first reach out to you with their marketing pain, they're not getting enough customers. They don't feel like they're getting enough leads. They go to One Click Lindsey. They're like, I need you to help me tweak my website. I need you to figure out what's going on with my SEO. What are the most common mistakes that you see, or what are like the most common low-hanging fruit items that business owners really struggle with in this area?
Yeah. So number one, back in the day when I started, you basically had only a couple ways of generating traffic. Of course, search engine optimization, but that can honestly take 4 to 6 months. You pick some keywords, you generate some cool traffic, wonderful content around these keywords, and you basically build those up so they start showing up in Google. But again, that can take 4 to 6 months. That's very painful to help a customer through when they're not seeing an ROI for those first 4 to 6 months. The other option was pay-per-click traffic, which is essentially you go to Google and you say, hey, Google, please show me in the search results every time someone clicks on Idaho Falls attorney, I'm willing to pay a quarter. Regardless, like if anything else happens, I'm willing to pay a quarter. Of course, that can get super duper expensive. Those were the 2 ways. But now, recently, my favorite way, of course, is social media marketing. So the way that I usually set it up is, yes, we are running an SEO campaign because that's the best kind of traffic you can get. That's organic traffic. People trust it. It's awesome. So for 4 to 6 months, I'm doing an SEO campaign in the background, but to give my customers a little bit of magic up front, we do a ton of social media marketing. Yes, Facebook is one of my favorites, although Pinterest has come out with some paid advertising, which is super cheap, and I'm getting some pretty amazing results using Pinterest ads. However, Facebook ads, yes, I know what you're going to say, but Facebook should be free. Go Bernie, etc. But Facebook marketing Like every other marketing in the whole wide world today, you have to pay. And quite frankly, with the way that you can target in Facebook to your target demographic, if your target demographic is women with toddlers at home within a 10-mile radius of San Diego, California that like Jim Carrey, then you can totally do that. Like when in the history of marketing have you been able to target like that? So you pay a few cents, you target, you get them out your message, you can build your email list pretty inexpensively and pretty quickly utilizing some Facebook marketing.
That's a fantastic example. And, I noticed you didn't mention LinkedIn on there. How do you feel about LinkedIn as a strategy for business owners?
Yeah, if you're going B2B, I actually get, to be honest with you, I get most of my leads, although I don't put a lot of money in my Facebook marketing at the moment. I get most of like my free straight up just posting on social media through LinkedIn because it's very business to business. If you go post stuff on the LinkedIn Pulse, very few of your connections are doing that. So a notification goes out to all your contacts. Hey, she has posted on this. They're always seeing your name. So I really actually like LinkedIn. LinkedIn as a paid advertising venue. To be frank, I've spent thousands of dollars out there on behalf of clients and have not seen a huge return on LinkedIn advertising. I think they're coming around. They're trying to become a more mature advertising platform. But as far as throwing money behind LinkedIn, it gets really expensive really fast. And yes, I told my customers, I have not had any luck on LinkedIn paid advertising. Are you sure you want to pay me? And they always say, yeah, give it a go. So
your initial feedback would be that you've gotten more traction in your experience on Facebook.
For paid advertising, absolutely. However, B2B, you can get a lot of traction on LinkedIn. You don't need to pay anything on LinkedIn.
Right.
Just be there.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, you got to be in it. Showing up's half the battle, right? So,
yeah, it really is.
So I'm kind of curious about, as a business owner trying to market and drive the ship at the same time. And, marketing is a wonderful thing to outsource. And there's so many ways to do that now by calling experts like yourself. Where do you usually start? Because you already mentioned building an email list. We talked about social media, SEO. Where would you begin?
Well, number one, all of my marketing strategy definitely revolves around high quality content. So it's a very rare exception that I am able to take a customer who is unwilling to produce quality content, whether that's articles or videos or emails, and actually produce traffic and leads. With SEO, that is what you have to do. You have to have high quality content in order to get traction on social media, people sharing, people liking. Has to be a high quality article. Now, that being said, some clients have a really hard time sitting down to a blank Word document and making some magic happen. So I do actually, for a lot of my clients, they're like, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to do. So I have a team of amazing copywriters. We'll actually write the articles for them, or we'll write the script for the videos for them. And then I send it over and say, hey, does this sound like it's your voice? Is there anything extra you want me to add here? And that seems a lot easier for my clients to edit versus starting from scratch. I have another client who has a specialty in vending machine marketing. He franchises vending machine business. Of course, I don't know much about that, and there isn't much on the internet. So I had him sit down and I said, just open up a microphone and open up a recording and just record yourself telling me everything about the vending business that you know. We took that half an hour recording, created an amazing 10 email autoresponder series, created an amazing opt-in, and created even an amazing info product that people are paying $99 for. And that was all from a 30-minute audio just because I needed to grab the knowledge from his head.
What an amazing place to start. I mean, it sounds like you spend a lot of time trying to figure out where your clients are so that you can understand the best place to start to get some traction.
Yes, every client is totally different. So again, that naturopath in Canada, she was already producing amazing content. She was fine with writing blogs. She had this amazing podcast. Like I don't have to help her with content at all. I just help her with social media sharing. I drive search engine traffic and I drive her opt-ins, making sure those pop-ups work, trying to come up with ideas on different opt-ins that she can use to convert all of that wonderful traffic she's getting because she's generating amazing content.
And so let's get back to this idea about the email list. So how does one build an email list?
Well, first and foremost, everyone's going to get really frustrated starting at zero, but everyone starts at zero. And you have to start somewhere. And it's so powerful. Like, just do it and do not get frustrated and do not be like, well, nothing's going to happen until I hit 10,000 people on my email list. Like, I literally have people with 300 people on their email list, but their open rates are sky high. People want to see their emails. People want to read what they're sending. And you would way rather have like 300 legitimate people that are looking forward to your email than 0.001% of that 10,000 person email list. So first and foremost, let your current clients know, hey, I'm going to be sending out a weekly email with tips and tricks, or maybe coupons, or like whatever awesomeness that you can provide in an email. And you need to make sure that you just start gathering people, and every single lead that comes in, every single person that shows any interest in your company, tell them, may I put you on my list? You always want to ask them. No surprises. That's where email marketing gets such a bad rap, is because people will steal email addresses and you'll get emails that you never wanted. But find a way to tactfully ask them or tell them, please be on my email list, so when you are ready, you'll be reminded of me. There's 100 ways to do it. So just start collecting today is what I recommend. Number 2, the best way, of course, is through what's called an irresistible offer. When people come to your website, regardless of what you sell, regardless of your services, you can come up with an irresistible offer. So I have a wonderful client who is an excellent business coach. We came up with your 10-day transformation to a dream business, because he is an amazing business coach. And in 10 days, he can give you an amazing tidbit every single day to grow your business. So every time someone comes and reads his articles, which are awesome and great business building advice, they want more. So we make sure to snag his email address, or snag whatever visitor's email address that comes to his website. So that's the key, is grab that email address somehow, some way, entice them to give you their email address. And that's where you start. You have to have a pop-up on your website. So back when I say pop-ups, people kind of shudder. Oh, pop-ups are, used car salesman, back to the whole email marketing. I'm not doing that. Pop-ups convert better than like anything else. Like, you have to have a pop-up on your website with your irresistible offer, asking people for their email address. It's a must.
So now I have that, right? So let's say I've figured it out. I have this super great offer. I got my cool pop-up that comes up, and somehow my one-click Lindsey marketing partner has convinced me that that's okay, and I'm not queasy about it anymore.
Okay.
So I start building my list. Now what? What do I do with that? Now that sounds like more work. Now what do I do?
It is a lot more. So here's the beauty of email marketing, right? Yeah, it's a ton of work up front. So yes, you have to like put the pedal to the metal. You have to write a bunch of emails and stuff like that. But then guess what? You can go to Hawaii and your website will be selling for you forever. Like, you don't even have to check on it, because people are getting these email drips and they're happy as little clams. So is what I recommend. You have a list and you actually send them a 10-day autoresponder customized to whatever your opt-in is. So if your opt-in is a free report, then I will write them an email. Hey, just wanted to make sure you saw the free report. Did you see this tip in the free report? I would send them maybe like a testimonial. But hey, I just got this amazing email from a client. I just wanted to share that with you. Maybe you're having the same problems. I can resolve it. So I usually do a 10 email sequence list to them. And then at the very end of that sequence, I say, so since we're getting along so swimmingly, I just wanted to let you know I added you to my weekly email list, where you'll continue to receive an email from me once a week. Once a week is the very minimum that I recommend people go. Then you put them on your general newsletter list, and once a week, don't ever miss a week. Be very consistent on the day and time you send this. You just keep sending people maybe your latest article, maybe your latest video, maybe a tidbit. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be fancy, but just keep your name in these people's email box. That is my secret formula.
That's fantastic advice. Craig and I see this a lot. We go into work with business owners, and marketing, lead generation. I mean, it is such a core challenge all the time for them to stay on top of it. And sometimes you see that they have someone internally that may be doing a little bit of marketing, or maybe the entrepreneur or founder is on Facebook a little bit here or there, but there's really isn't a concentrated strategy with a clear understanding of who that ideal customer is and how we can reach them. And it really sounds like this is an area where getting with an expert can really help them pull all that together.
Yes. And one of my main functions as an expert is to keep people on track. So none of this will work within the first 2 weeks you're doing it. None of this will work probably within the first month you're doing it. This is a long-term strategy. If you're ready to create amazing content, if you're ready to build your email list, and if you're ready to feed said list, put your head down and say, for the next 9 months to a year, I am going to do this. I don't care if anyone likes my Facebook posts. I don't care if everyone unsubscribes from my email because I send it out and it's horrible. I am going to do this consistently for the next 9 to 12 months. And then you can come and thank me because it will work. It may not produce amazing results in month 1, but it will. It's a long-term strategy. Just like any relationship, the relationship you're making with your potential customers is nurtured, building trust. I will buy from you when I am ready, and you cannot force it. So I have packages, and yes, I can help you for 1 month, but there is a huge caveat to that where I say, sure, I'll take your money for 1 month, but you're not going to see a ton of magic. I highly recommend you come back to me when you have a budget for 4 to 6 months to let me and my team make some magic for you.
I love it. It's like compounding interest.
Yeah, it really is. And so much work takes place behind the scenes in month 1. You're doing keyword research to see what keywords we could actually rank for. Like, obviously, you're not going to rank for tennis rackets, right? So you have to figure out what the keywords are you can actually rank for. So yeah, maybe 1 million people are searching for tennis rackets online, but we need to go for brown-handled tennis rackets that 250 people are searching for because we can get number 1 on Google for that. 250 people is better than like being on page 500 for tennis rackets, right? So you have to figure out those keywords. We have to figure out your website, where it's at, get the opt-ins written, get everything in place, analyze your analytics. So much happens behind the scenes in month 1 before you even like let it loose to let people start opting in and signing up. So it's a long-term strategy.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like an investment. And it's clear that without you understanding those things, you have to understand where you are, first of all, before you can get to where you're going. So
yeah, yep.
So Lindsey, thank you so much for sharing tremendous information for us in a very condensed form, and really appreciate that.
It has been my pleasure. It's my passion. So you can tell I get a little like high pitched when I talk and fast when I talk about it.
No, we love the energy. One of the things you mentioned is this irresistible offer. And I think you mentioned you have something you might like to offer.
I sure do. You can head over just for your special listeners, because they're my favorite listeners. They can go to oneclicklindsey.com/businessownersradio. And you can spell One Click Lindsey however you want, SCY, SAY, number 1, whatever. oneclicklindsey.com/businessownersradio. And there you can download 3 free guides on how to generate traffic and leads for yourself today without my help. But you can use my help, but you don't need my help.
Well, thank you so much, Lindsey. That's such a great offer, and we've really, really enjoyed speaking with you today.
Have a wonderful day, gentlemen.
Our guest today has been One Click Lindsey Anderson. You can learn more about Lindsey and download the free white papers on increasing traffic and leads for your business in our show notes at businessownersradio.com.
Thank you for joining us on Business Owners Radio. We hope you enjoyed today's show. As always, you can read more about each episode along with links and offers in the show notes on our website, businessownersradio.com. We want to hear your feedback. Please leave comments on this show or suggestions for upcoming episodes. Tell your fellow business owners about the show, and, of course, we would love the stars and comments on iTunes. Till next time, keep taking care of business.